I think glassmaking in Knottingley, the whole town centred around it. Prior to the roads being used to actually bring raw materials in, the canals were used. A lot of families followed each other into the glassworks. Knottingley's history is steeped in glassware. My name's David Appleyard. I work as an artist, predominantly working in public art. Been doing that for about 15 or 16 years. And my practice is 3D sculpture, but I also work on a lot of engagement. I was commissioned by Wakefield Museum and Castles to produce a project called Fire and Water. Obviously it had to involve illumination in some way for the Light Up Festival, and it had to present and celebrate Knottingley's heritage. So the research for the project began in the local archives. This was coupled with talking to people that we visited. We began conversations with the former Bagley's glassworks, and it's called Stoelzle Flaconnage. They were super keen to do something within the community and give back. We decided that through some of the research into the archive material, I'd found a series of really fascinating photographs, some from the glass industry, some from boat launches in the canal, away days from the factories. It all emphasised this kind of sense of nostalgic pride. Stoelzle Flaconnage allowed us to use part of their facility, and we projected these images onto the side of a building along with the front of the town hall. We illuminated the glassworks at the far end of the canal, projecting colours from the original crystal tint glassware. So we decided in a similar fashion to the old ship launches, we wanted to make it a public occasion. And through that research, it became apparent that there needed to be a fuller engagement activity. So these cards, along with a series of beer mats, they were distributed around town, so in the local supermarket, in the working men's clubs and pubs. And it just had one question: what does Knottingley mean to you? And it gave people an option of drawing something, sticking it down, or writing an opinion. The more I got my teeth into the research of the glass industry, I found out that in the factories there used to be a hot end and a cold end. So the hot end was where the glass was blown and produced, and then the cold end was where the inspections happened. So people were holding the bottles up and actually inspecting them for flaws, and one of the flaws was called a chisel. It also became apparent that there was a kind of hot end and a cold end to people's opinions. There wasn't much in between. It was either a kind of love or hate situation. I felt that needed documenting. We were allowed to use the town hall, and I created a display of people's opinions. They were displayed on banners, but then the actual cards were displayed on a series of tables that people could come and visit and contribute and add theirs. But that really only gave a certain age range, and I really wanted to find out what Knottingley meant to young people. We worked with St Botolph's primary school, but we also asked them to redesign Knottingley's crest or coat of arms with the things that are personal and meaningful to them. The things that they were mentioning were they liked walking on the canal, and there were flower beds along the canal, and it was quite simple things really in a lot of cases that they were proud of. Or the majority weren't really aware of Knottingley's fame for glassmaking. The crests or the coat of arms that they produced all got made into stickers, and then we produced a bottle for each design. And they were judged on the night by the managing director of Stoelzle Flaconnage, and a winner's going to have their design printed on a bottle. In terms of a legacy, there were some very positive parts of the project and people's opinions, but even the negatives, which we likened to the imperfections in glass called chisels, I hope people can see that there is an enormous amount of pride in Knottingley still. We found a Leonard Cohen quote which summed this up. So Leonard Cohen wrote, "There is a crack in everything, and that's how the light gets in."